One. What's up, everybody? Brews and Bets here with our Thursday Masters reaction. Hope everybody's doing good and got some good golf watching in today. Sean, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Yeah, it was kind of a nice chill day. It was nice to have golf back, especially in master form, crowd or not.
Right.
It was awesome.
Yeah, a little different tournament this year with the November Masters. Some different colors out there, but the course still looked immaculate, I think. And, got some good golf. During the day, I was drinking some Avery White Rascal all day. Nice little wheat beer from Avery Brewing in Colorado. What were you drinking today?
I'm drinking this Heater Allen Dunkel, which I picked up at Southland Beer Company in Koreatown. Heater Allen makes really good German beers. That's what the brewery I work for, Annegren's, known for. So I've been trying to find like other breweries doing the same thing. I've had Bierstadt in Colorado, and I heard a lot about these guys. So I'm actually just about to try now my first sip of their Dunkel Dark Lager.
Cheers.
Cheers. Fantastic. Wow. Really, really simple. You know, German beer is that way. There shouldn't be too much to it. It just shouldn't be too hoppy or too dry or overblown out on hops. It's really, really smooth. Nice, dark, rich caramel. It's really good.
Nice. Dark lager, you called it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a Dunkel. It's amazing.
Perfect. Well,
Oh, man.
I guess we'll kind of get into the golf then. Day one, kind of crazy day, and still not everybody was able to finish. We just heard the horn go off, and some groups maybe didn't even finish their front nine. So still in progress for round one, but we have a pretty decent idea of what we saw. What was your first reaction today?
My first reaction, honestly, is that nothing too crazy for me. I mean, obviously, we're going to get into what did surprise us on the day, but overall, looking at the field and looking at the leaderboard, it's kind of what I expected. A little bit more seasoned players with a couple people playing well at the moment, not so much just like young studs or first timers crushing it. All in all, great job. Got to tip the cap to Paul Casey today. Shoots the 7 under, which I called. I didn't think anybody would do all tournament in a single day. That was as good as he looked to the PGA. So that was definitely a surprise. Obviously, lineup surprise-wise, as far as price, would be Dylan Fratelli's 4 under through 8 holes after they blew the horn. That's obviously a surprise. But all in all, I thought it was pretty much what I thought it was going to be. What did you think?
Yeah, quite a bit of chalk up there near the top of the leaderboard. I think Casey may be the most surprising name up there so far. Just looking, it looks like Patrick Reed was up there, who's had success at the Masters before. Matsuyama, Schauffele's been great in the majors. Webb Simpson, who's had a solid year. Dustin Johnson, he was on I think 9 when it got called, but he was having a good day. So lots of chalk up there. A lot of good scores. I think part of that, the weather delay in the morning and the rain kind of softened up the course. And there's a lot of people, able to attack pins. And the course played really differently. Like I think even on the par 5 second hole, the pin is kind of tucked back, hidden behind the bunker. And normally it's kind of a death pin to go at, but there were some people able to stick some shots in there and had some eagle looks on hole 2. So the course played pretty soft after the weather delay and some good scores out there. And setting up to be an exciting tournament with lots of those big names up top.
Yeah, so one thing I did think that the weather added for this tournament, specifically this year, is that typically with the Masters, almost like a big poker tournament, you want to just hang around, make the cut, and then put a little bit of a drive in. But given how the weather's allowed for the course to be scoreable now, you really want to be trying to put up as low a score on Thursday and Friday as possible. And then the nerves sort of get to everybody Saturday, Sunday, and really just try to keep it in check after that. So you don't really want to be hanging around the cut line too much if you want to be realistic in the numbers, I think. So I would say tomorrow you probably want to be at least 4 under, even if the cut's 2 or something like that. That would be my guess to be competitive.
Yeah, I think the cut, well, so far all the scores and the cut line is projected to be better than, or is turning out to be better than they projected because of those conditions. But I think that was the worst weather they were supposed to get today. So it's supposed to be pretty sunny, and I think the course should firm up and maybe present a little more of a challenge for these guys for the next few days. So good to get your scores in today if you could. So hats off to Paul Casey, especially for that. Um, any surprises that you saw, or what was the best and worst thing you saw today, Sean?
Okay, I would say, and it's crazy because he finished 2 under, but I would say that's as bad as you can see Bryson play. I hadn't really seen him play that bad since his blow up to go soaring out of one of the last majors with the 10 in the 1 hole. He's typically been in line and making his putts, and even if he's not winning the tournament, he's like really close and competitive after each day. He still ended at 2 under, really, really good, but he birdied 17 and 18, and he looked pretty bad before that. So hopefully that momentum for him and his game, in his case, takes him to the next stage just fine, and I actually think it can. But just from what I saw, I expected a lot more out of him after day one. He looked pretty soft. So he would have been probably one of my biggest surprises. That and Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods played much better than I thought he would. He just played great golf. Like, he didn't play anything too sexy. He didn't have 8 birdies and 4 bogeys. He was bogey free, and a few of those putts just rolled in. If he can do that every day, he will be competitive. So I would say for me, that was the 2 biggest surprises. How about you?
Yeah, I got to hand it to Tiger. Played really well, really solid. He had a couple of those 5-foot pars or whatever that you got to make to win big tournaments, and he's made in the past.
Right.
But lots of greens and regulations and not too many mistakes for Tiger, so that was good. I agree with you too on Bryson. He had the one blow-up hole where he got aggressive on the par 5 out of the pine straw and kind of airmailed one, came out hot and lost that one. Had to take a drop, and I think that's the one he double bogeyed. But
And then he flubbed it. Yeah, after that, yeah.
Otherwise, a fairly clean round for Bryson, and like you said, that's probably about his floor, I think. So 2 under with some of the looks he was getting. He wasn't hitting anything great today. A lot of sprayed drives. Definitely could be closer on some of his approach shots, and the putting was just like so. So he's definitely got a higher ceiling there. But I agree with you on those things. It was nice to see old guy Larry Mize had put up a good round. I think he was
Yeah.
He was the guy that was getting out-driven by Bryson, I think, like 80 yards a time or something like that. Not that they're in the same group, but yeah, he can't keep up with them off the tee, but he had a good score, and so that was fun to see. I'm a little disappointed in Bubba Watson. He's 2 over right now as play got suspended. He finished 10 holes, but I was really expecting more from him. He had a tough stretch, 4 over through 3 holes. He needs to do something to make the cut. I got him in a few lineups, and it would be nice if he can get to the weekend. But overall, I'm just happy to see some good Masters golf. Like I said, the course is looking really nice, and really think all I can hope for right now, November Masters, which is fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I think we pointed out a few surprises, but I think all in all, everything kind of played out similarly to what we thought. We'll get into some projected ownerships that surprised me in DraftKings next. And then after that, I'd love to hear who you're chasing, who you need to improve on Friday. Some numbers that surprised me. The number one, glaring, it's the biggest thing I've seen. Dustin Johnson, 34% owned in the big one. That's crazy. He's literally in more than a third of every lineup. A lot of bet talks I heard on different podcasts and stuff did have DJ at what they were calling pretty much a lock to top 10 this. And if that's true and he is still 4th, 5th priced, there is a way to work him in with some of the other big guys. So I think you're seeing a lot of lineups where he's like actually tier 1B player, which is weird, but mixed in with a ROM or something like that. So that was a surprise. And also props off to you would say my biggest surprise on the other end. Good call on Casey, 6% owned and 4% owned in some of the single entry tournaments as well.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when you told me Dustin Johnson's 34% owned. That's wild. I don't know if I've ever seen that. But I do think, I liked him going into the week, and I think he was a little undervalued. I think if they were going to make those price rankings again and do everything, I think they'd probably up his price by a few hundred at least.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like me saw him, at 10,000. I think it was maybe like the 4th or 5th favorite or the 4th or 5th highest when, he's the number 1 player in the world right now. His price should probably be a little higher than that. And so I think a lot of people saw that value and, definitely a lot of people saw that value. But it's quite surprising to see over a third of the lineups with him. And then, yeah, thanks for the props on Casey. That was a good call. I got Ustes in a few lineups too, and he put together a pretty solid round. So that was nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was scared away from Tiger Woods. I think he's always overvalued just by name. But we said it before. He put together a great round, and so that was interesting to see. So overall, I like my lineups. Like I said, I could use a little help from Bubba going into the weekend. But if the leaderboard stayed where it is, I think I got a pretty good shot at cashing. And the other guy I'm watching that I got a no on Colin Morikawa to finish top 20. So right now he's even. He got suspended after it looks like 10 holes. So I'll be watching him, but good start there for me. And then I do have a Bryson versus Rory prop as well. And Rory didn't have the best start today, and we talked about Bryson already, so I'll be kind of watching that too going into the weekend. But like we said before, kind of expecting the scores to be not quite as good as the course dries out a little bit, but lots of those big names at the top, so it should be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I really like your Bryson bet. I think that McIlroy didn't look terrible. He just isn't. It didn't look as sharp as he can, and Bryson looks not nearly as good as he can, and you're still sort of winning that. So I actually think, if anything, it should go the other way. I also think Tiger will as well, or at least flatten out. I mean, to really be competitive, you have to go 3-4 under both days. I could see him having something more of an even day, a couple more par scrambles, a couple more birdie putts that don't roll, and he's going to make the cut. He always does, and he put himself in that position to do it again. But will he be on the top 10 leaderboard again after tomorrow's play is finished? I don't know. And so I expect him to flatten out. I was just a little surprised by his play. Moving forward, lineups-wise, Fitzpatrick's a big one. I was looking forward to him. He's technically the top 20th ranked player in the world. He's even through 10 holes. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Or actually, he bogeyed the 10th hole. So he's +1 now. So hopefully that's not the momentum that he'll take into the rest of his round, but he's still right there. He's active. Other than him, I think, we had some good calls on things. It's still really, really early on Thursday, though.
Yep. Yeah, overall, I like it. I'm excited to watch some more tomorrow, see some of these first round guys finish up, and we'll see how much of the second round they can get in. I have a feeling we're going to look at a Saturday morning cut, and we won't know the results till Saturday morning, but setting up for a fun weekend. And I know we're going to be watching a lot of golf, and we'll have some reactions coming up to that too. So cheers, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the golf, and good luck on any of your bets. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely tune in tomorrow. There'll be a lot more to go over because that's cut day, and things are going to really start getting interesting into the weekend. So cheers.
Cheers.